up. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. It's no problem.
Once he picks me up, you'll have to remind me of your hotel's name, and then I can add it as a stop.
Right. Well, you don't have to. I mean, if it's Fisherman's Wharf, I could easily walk from there. I was just a bit
We'll see.
dubious about being a Brit alone in the middle of San Francisco at night.
Sure. Do you have a data plan or your phone that works for you?
It's deserted. So I'm in San Francisco. It's 10 to 11 at night, and I had a bus scheduled from the Amtrak station to get me to the center of San Francisco. Then I was left to my own devices. But the guy in the berth opposite me, who I'd not spoken to the whole trip, a guy called Patrick, he let me share his Uber with him for a fraction of even half the cost of it, because he already had credit on his phone, which is really good of him. Straight to his hotel. He was going to get me to my hotel, but I went, no, don't worry about that. So I've got another 5-minute walk there to my hotel. And I'm going to sleep in a great big bed. Hey, good morning from San Francisco. Weather's lovely. Not hot, just lovely weather. So we all know the joys about arriving so late with Amtrak last night. I might have been waved at. Or maybe he knew someone else. There we are, I cross now. I was waved at. And so I'm on my way now to Alcatraz. And I realised why I've had a headache most of the time I've been in the US. It's because I've had 1 cup of coffee in a week. And it's obviously been withdrawal. I'm just amazed it's lasting so long. Or it could be the stress of the journey. So my hotel's down there. It's a big hotel. I mean, there's like a queue of 100 people just to get in for breakfast. It's quite industrial in that respect. But I slept pretty good. It's like the entrance to the East India Docks down there, but it's not. Alcatraz is that way. So they thought this out in a holding area before you board. And of course a lot of people board in. They've got all kinds of open air exhibits and information to read. It's a big bugger. And yet ironically not a big bugger, because this is the actual size on a 1-to-1 scale. In the queue. These things go out every half hour. And there's so many people going.
Encounter steep walkways, uneven surfaces, and tripping hazards on Alcatraz Island. Please watch your step and be careful as you move about the island.
I'm on the boat. This is what those convicts would have actually seen between 1934 and 1963. It would have been just loads and loads of tourists. All getting in their way and thinking, you know, I've got a sentence to serve here. What are you doing? And people go, no, I want to have a look around. It's such a busy thing. There's so many people. There's the Golden Gate Bridge over there. We're getting close to Alcatraz. Oakland Bay Bridge over there, San Francisco there. Glastonbury tour over there. great thing about Alcatraz is the fun fair, which is in one of the prison blocks. I'm actually on it. Feet. I'm on Alcatraz, dude. So this sign here, after it all got shut down in the late 60s, a group of
if you could just meet me over here,
Native Americans.
We're just coming over here. We're going to go over a few things before we get started.
Rules and regulations. A group of Native Americans took possession of the island for a couple of years, just to bring attention to the plight of all the land that had been stolen in the first place. And apparently it worked out quite well. Here's a little tip if you're going to visit. Wait 5 minutes for everyone to disappear. Don't go with everyone straight away. It's going to be another half hour till there's another boat over. So let them all go ahead and have all the space to yourself. The Alcatraz Botanic Gardens, known the world over for their green, sprouty things. If the information I read is right, this is the watchtower that was the only one that was manned for 24 hours a day. And this is, like, you could stand right underneath it like this, you'd probably be alright there. They wouldn't notice you. I wouldn't mind having that view every day. Waking up to that. I can't see what they were fussing about. The smell in here is pretty much what you'd expect, that kind of stone, musty, damp smell. Just walking through the guardhouse now. That's nice. This is the old prison social hall, not in a great state of repair, and this is the most in-your-face seagull on the whole island. It doesn't care. And there's the iconic water tower. It's a really pretty island, it's the crazy thing. So the reason the Officers Social Club doesn't stand anymore is because it burnt down in 1970. There's the Quartermaster stores there. Big chimney. And of course, this is, of course, as if anybody would know, this was the powerhouse. Obviously very off limits to prisoners, because if they got hold of it, they could have brought chaos. And there has to be order. I missed it. Behind me a few minutes ago, there was a hummingbird, a green hummingbird, in the bushes for about 30 seconds just with me, and I watched it and I thought, I've got to get a photo. And when I looked down to get the camera and looked up, it had gone. Looked around, not there anymore, but I did see one, and it was amazing. Anyway, this is quite amazing too. Electric shop, and it's going nap nap nap. There's one of the prison residences. That's a shooting range there. It's not as steep as I was led to believe. I thought it's like really steep incline, but it's not. My legs aren't aching in the least. It's a bit like the same incline as Guildford High Street. You can't go in there. Can't go down there. I sneezed. You can't go up there because that's dangerous as well. Can't go in there because I'm too able-bodied. Can go up there though. So the water tower. This is great with the graffiti. The original slogan on there was done during the Native American occupation between 69 and 71, and they restored it in 2012, and they invited the original people and their family members to come and actually paint over the top of it and restore it. I think that's amazing. So how can I make my dark tourism tour become even darker? I can show you the morgue. Ooh. No one's buried here because it's on solid rock, so every body was taken off the island. Oh, creepy. Hey, what? What you looking at? Come here, I'll pick your eyes out. You limey bastard. Here we are, the big building. And this ex-prisoner's here today giving talks. Do 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 do. That'll be those stairs there, I guess. That's exciting. How mad is this? So this is, yeah, this is like the area of when prisoners arrived. You know, there'd be showers there and where the clothing and everything would be issued. But the showers there in front of me. And here we all are now being processed to get our audio tours. It's mad. Don't know where this is.
You guys could go inside.
I'm going in. Whoa. Creepy. I'm in one of the 6 cells of the hole. And it's yep, it's made of plywood. Fools, they could have got out. the audio guy doesn't tell you, but I just checked on Google. Robert Stroud's cell, and he was a really nasty piece of work. An intelligent man, but vile. And that was his cell. And he didn't have any birds here, he had birds in previous jails, so there we are. That was the cell in which he lived. So this was the library, where they had a sink and 2 empty bookshelves. I just read that prisoners weren't allowed in here. It was an orderly had to come round and they had to put in orders for books and they'd get them like weeks later. Just like the mail now. This is one of the escape cells from 1962. See the hole down there? And here's the other 2 from the same night. These 2 were brothers. The younger one was much more clever because the older one was a bit stupid. Al Capone's cell is down here somewhere. Now, I'm only going on the fact that I'm in B block and cells 130 and 132 are behind me. I know that Al Capone was held in B block cell 133, so unless I find out otherwise, it's either the one on the left or the one on the right. Now, the other possibility of Capone's cell, and of course I might find out later I got this all wrong, but I'm meant to be around C block, but is C block there? Or is C block this? Because C block is the whole block of buildings on either side of it, then this would be part of B block, and this is cell 133, and if that was the case, this would be Al Capone's old cell, but there's nothing marking it out, apart from the fact that he clearly had a very big bum and smashed the toilet when he did his shit. So it works out that what it was, that one I showed you with the smashed toilet was Al Capone's cell. Mr. Big Turd. And this is the dining room. There's not much catering going on today. They didn't actually like the visitors, so they said we're not doing any food, you can starve, which is a bit rude, given the amount that it costs to get here. They claim there were tear gas canisters that we can still see in the ceiling just in case a riot should start, which were never used, but I haven't seen these canisters anywhere. So that's Bill Baker who wrote about his life being a prisoner on Alcatraz, and I've got to say, if he came here every day, the amount of books he must sell all the time, he must be making a fortune. And good on him, if that's the case. So this is A block. Just a little bit of the sun I didn't see, because of course that's where the tour itself starts, the audio one, which I took and you didn't, you just had bits of footage and occasionally me saying something. Just now walking around the side of the cell block. It's still so pretty! I'm just glad I didn't film that hummingbird when I had the chance. So this is a public building, so I'm now in where I looked through the visitation window, and this is the public side of it. So the admin building, but you knew that. There's the lighthouse. Which will just be a big silhouette because the sun's right behind it at the moment. And a fab ruin here. So the impressive ruin is the warden's house, which also got burnt down in 1970, the same time as the social club. I love the way the foliage has grown over it. Non-public bits down there. Look, here's what fascinates me. Look, where there used to be buildings and they've all collapsed. What were they? Did the seagulls do it? Anyway, downhill we go. Oh, that's nice. I just read that all those demolished buildings down there were the old warders and prison staff's apartments that were demolished in the 70s after they'd just been laying there doing nothing for over a decade, and the whole thing's like a little nature area now that's closed to the public. It's just for wildlife. So that's nice, isn't it? I'm going to go and speak to that seagull and see what the seagull thinks of the situation. So, seagull, what do you think of the situation? Don't you point that camera at me, you bastard. Thank you very much for your time. You're welcome. So this is a security building and it smells really bad. There's a definite farmyard smell in there for sure. I think it's just about there where an inmate called Dutch Bowers was the first attempted escape in 1936. He'd been arrested simply for stealing about $16 because he was starving, and he ended up with real mental health issues. And right in line of where there was a watchtower, which is about where the tree is just up there, he just walked away from an incinerator and started climbing the fence, and the guard shouted to stop and he didn't, and he got shot dead. Well, this was worth a climb up the steps. There's quite a few of them. So this is the rec yard, and how prison rec yard does this look? They got out for 2.5 hours on a Saturday, 2.5 hours on a Sunday, and those who were deemed vulnerable or too dangerous, they just got an hour to themselves each week. I'm guessing in the rest of the time, otherwise that would defeat the object. Wow. Still looking out for a hummingbird. So this is Officers' Row, and it was demolished in 1940. They put flower beds where the houses used to be. Here comes a boat to take us back onto the mainland again, and eventually rid me from the sound of these bloody kids with their harmonicas. Jesus, it's oral torture. Now there may be a question, do many people visit Alcatraz? No, no one ever turns up to see it. You come here, you could pretty much be by yourself the whole day. Excuse me, madam. Alcatraz is done. I'm now heading off to the one place that I was really concerned about visiting when I made this arranged trip. I'm about to head into the Tenderloin district of San Francisco, which is an absolute no-go area. I'm only just going inside it, but it's full of homeless, mental health issues, a lot of drug addiction, people smoking crack in the street, genuinely really bad. So I've got a murder site to see there, and I'm going to be as quick as I can and get straight out again. Well, I made it. It's a dodgy area, but to be honest, I think Englewood was worse. So this is 7650 Farrell Street in the Tenderloin district of San Francisco. It was the 10th of April 1984 when Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, did his first ever murder of many in the basement of this building. A little girl, 9 years old, she'd gone off looking for a dollar bill in the basement of the building. Her brother left her alone, came back and found that in the meantime, while she was looking for this dollar bill in the basement, Ramirez had come in. This wasn't solved until years later. It was an unsolved case for years. And he'd beaten, raped and stabbed her to death and left her hanging over a pole in the basement. Grim. It's one of the grimmest, and this is really a bad area. Thank God I've not seen people shooting up in the street, but this is you can see it's not a good place. So I'm going to leave here pretty quickly and carry on. But yeah, I did it. I didn't know if I would, but I did. So there it is. So I walked uphill to Van Ness, which is a major intersection, and the mood suddenly changes. It's still not great, but it's not dodgy anymore. I didn't see any drug use. I smelt weed very strongly, but it's weird because since I've been here, where it's very illegal in San Francisco, I've only smelt it once. Thank God I didn't see any drug use, as I say, and I was a bit worried. I don't know why I was worried, because it wouldn't affect me in any way, but people shooting up or smoking crack in the street, so I'm going on to another site in that direction now. And this is one of the most important ones for me. This is 1859 Geary Boulevard, and this is now a post office building that was put up in the late 1990s. The building that was here before was destroyed in the San Francisco earthquake in 1989, and until 1977 this was where Jim Jones had the People's Temple. It was from this site that his followers went out and died in Guyana. And the place was still in use after the suicides. The people that still came who were besieged by the media, wondering why they were still alive, all that kind of business, and the relatives of people who'd been killed out there wanting to know what had happened. Jones for me is one of the most terrifying of all historical figures. And he stood here and he worshipped here and he fooled hundreds of people here. What a bastard. So 3 sites in an hour. I'm in Haight-Ashbury now. And of course everywhere over there it's just pot shops. That's not the smell of pot, that's just a regular cough. But across the street from me now is 636 Cold Street. And the door for 636 is on the left, so I'm guessing that we're talking about the upper part of the building. And this was where Charles Manson moved when he got released from prison, and where he got turned onto LSD and pot and free love and all the music scene and all that kind of stuff. So basically it's from here that he got even more crazy than he was and set up the Manson family. It was at this building. So 3 sites done in under an hour, 4 in just over an hour. I'm standing somewhere along Haight, and the weird thing is I've still only smelt weed once in the entire time I've been in San Francisco. Maybe because it's so legal, who bothers doing it? Yeah, don't believe that. So I'm going to go to my 4th murder site of the afternoon very soon. Yet another famous case. Hurrah! I've just taken that streetcar there. I'm now in Presidio Heights, which, as you can see, is a very different area to where I've been so far. Excuse me, madam. So I'm going to go 2 blocks up here for another notorious murder site. And here it is. This is the site of the last ever Zodiac killer murder. Just about where the P is. So I better cover some details on this. This information isn't mine because I didn't know enough about it. So it's the 11th of October 1969, about 5 minutes to 10 at night. And it was a 29-year-old cab driver called Paul Stein. He'd done a pickup for a customer, and the customer happened to be the Zodiac killer. And he dropped him off. He for some reason stopped a block before the drop-off was meant to be. And he got shot by Zodiac, and the Zodiac took away a large piece of his shirt, which he sent to the police later on. He left bloody fingerprints in the car. And he was seen by several witnesses. Several people saw him wiping down the cab, and then they saw him walking off up in this direction, going round here and walking along Cherry Street. And the police actually came here after the witnesses had called, and they actually saw him walking up this street. But they're on the lookout for someone who was black and not white. And the police record actually driving past him as he made his escape this way. Now, the witness statements that were given is what created the pictures of Zodiac, the really bad drawings of this guy with the crew cap and the glasses that you see on these wanted posters, which appear to be the only drawings that there are of him. Although, of course, with it being 2023, it's quite likely that he's finally been identified. So this house oversaw it all, 3898 Washington Street in Presidio Heights in San Francisco. And like the nice areas, there's no one around. It's just me. Right, that's enough crime for today. At the junction of Park Presidio and California, and I am waiting to get my bus to start my evening bus tour, which will still be clearly in still broad daylight, so it won't be anywhere near as atmospheric as I thought, but it's warm. And that's the thing. Hopefully it's going to get me there in time. I'm cutting it a bit short. I've only got about 10 minutes leeway at present between getting there and the thing setting off. So this is a place called Treasure Island. This is our driver. He's been awesome, frankly. It is so effing freezing cold. I may try and see if I can sit downstairs for the journey back. This is halfway along the Oakland Bridge. That's the Oakland Bridge over there. And that's San Francisco. And that's the Golden Gate Bridge. Zoom in. And that's Alcatraz.
Swimming due to the deadly rip currents. Crissy Field, alongside the San Francisco Bay, is an area perfect for strolling, jogging, picnicking, and wading.
Oh, there we go.
San Francisco is home to many world-class museums. These include the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, the Asian Art Museum, the De Young Museum, the California Academy.
I'm going to be such a tourist, but I bought a ticket, so let's do it. I'm going to go on a cable car. This is one of the places where it turns around. Only a block from the hotel. Yay! Here it comes, it's moving. It's moving. It's done that thing. There we are. It's done a thing. And now it's going to do another thing.
I like that you're wearing your sweater is red and black.
Thank you.
Those are good protection colors.
In the UK it's Dennis the Menace. Over here I know it's Freddy Krueger.
Nice.
This is now spinning around. This is the showcase cable car you could have won as your star prize. And now we all push it around San Francisco.
All aboard.
You've just seen a secret rite of passage and you can't tell anyone. I'm doing it on the nighttime streets of San Francisco. There's a skull there just to remind you about death. The danger of nighttime in San Francisco when kids use skateboards as lethal weapons. Here's another street in San Francisco, full of the violent dross renegades of eras past. All these people awaiting their punishment. Here's a steep one. The incline here is it's about 50 degrees. Look, it's so high, even the cars go backwards because it's going 360 and then some. Just stopped here to look at some interesting graffiti. I hope you all enjoyed that. And down we go. big one.
What's the street before Union Square, sir?
Sutter Street. Sutter is the next stop.
This is mad.
Have a great evening, sir.
Right, you do. You're welcome.
I'm at the front now. Oh yeah. Today is the day I leave and don't want to. But I am exhausted. It probably is about time. So this has been my room in San Francisco. It's pretty big. And I'm going to go down now and have breakfast, being part of a huge queue for it. And I'm going to try and work out how I'm meant to get to the airport this afternoon.
You know, because it's not anything that we do. We're no better than you. All we're saying is that every single person, no matter if it's
You're espousing hatred,
fornication, pornography, you all have to repent and turn to Jesus Christ just like we did. And that's the truth, whether you want to believe it or not, sir.
You are espousing hatred.
Well, you know, there's this old saying, you know, men lie, you know, people lie, but numbers don't lie. And the numbers are that, you know, if you are living a homosexual lifestyle, my friend, you know, you are more, you know, the average age of the homosexual, I believe, is 50. So if you live a homosexual lifestyle, you're taking a good 20 years off your life by average, my friend.
You know, I'm not going to stick it all on YouTube, but I just had a screaming match with a hate preacher. It is ridiculous. I'm surprised about Fisherman's Wharf. It's allowing people like this. The stuff this guy was coming out with, it's not him, but I mean, it's just the same. He would be arrested in the UK for hate speech. So after my little exchange with a hate preacher and withdrawing some money from the bank, which charged me to withdraw it as well as my bank charge, which is great fun, I'm here at a place that I always meant to come to when I decided to book here, the Musée Mécanique, which is basically this great big room, and it's free admission because of course they make all the money out of people playing the games. This great big room filled with tons of old arcade games from the last 100 plus years. This is great. This is halfway between a museum and an arcade. There's something. That's right, Ducky. No humans allowed in there, and no Lucky either. Shut up! You know, there's something very unusual about some of these games. There's that, and I come over here, and then it says that. Still, it's San Francisco. Well, that was good. That's about 20 or so 3D views, old stereo views of the San Francisco earthquake through there, and it was a quarter. So let's spend another quarter here. This is an old familiar one. Amazing. great. There's been these exhibits that are shut down, these exhibitions that aren't there anymore, and a lot of them, rather like the one at Brading, had their own press your own coin machine, and this place has gone and got them all. Right, here's some more automata. He's funny. This is hardly Zoltar, but I wish I was less big. I'm not scary. She moved her head. She's haunted. Most basic dance ever. Oh, I've got a card. She's given me a card. It says, you are damned to hell, apparently. You have plenty of common sense, you have great gifts, you're fond of good company, don't be ever generous, you'll succeed. Well, bloody hell, that's me. Oil fields. 25 cents, in we go. Really got the sense now being at an oil field. I can smell the oil bursting through the subterranean levels of the earth. That's Oliver Hardy driving that. I'm quite chuffed. It's a real amazing piece of engineering, I have to say. See, there's just buckets and stuff going on there. It's basically nothing. This one's definitely a must, is it? That to me suggests that not many people use it. So we're going to go with 75 cents. One play, as if I'm going to play it. In that goes. And now everyone gets entertained. By, okay, yeah, there's a lot going on there. So they're trying to happy slap each other there. Cal's nodding in agreement. Duckies. Yeah, alright, there's loads going on here. The sheep's tail's wagging, that's a laugh. People over there doing Nazi salutes. I think this is meant to be the Bavarian mountains in 1935. With an Amish barn over there. What's he doing over there? Is he smashing an animal up? arcade games. There's a classic. So why people do these ones so they can do them on their phone? I don't get it. This is a smashing idea though, they should have these in the UK. A retro arcade. Yeah, none of those interest me. I don't want games, I want to just put the money in it and make it do something. Pigeon catcher ducky. Yeah. Let's add some music to the proceedings. Weeks. Oh, this better be terrifying. Terrifying. I could crap myself. It is that scary. All the evil little demons and elves and cursed things. Yep. This is going to be so disappointing. Okay, it's not disappointing. Now, how's this one gonna die? Well, we're gonna find out. Nice! And that's still visible, as would probably be the case. That's grim and rubbish. Yep. Ding. What are you looking at? Stop it, you're freaking me out. Look at those eyes. It's like Goering. stop it. And he stopped it. No, he didn't. Right, I'm going to do this instead. It's not doing much. Okay, it's playing a tune on this music box, but it's so loud in here you can't hear anything. Just take my word for it, it'll probably be amazing. That's quite sleek. And then we've got a scary woman over there. She's real. Is not a working item. This is an aerial view of a genuine 19th century Wild West town made of matchsticks. Someone's having a fit over there. See what this is. I can't now, it's turned it off. Now here's one that interests me, but I can't show it to you because it's a 3D thing. But am I gonna have a look? Of course I am. Through there. Comes another disappointment. An English execution. Oh yeah. This would be rubbish. Looks like Horsemonger Lane Jail. I don't know why this is meant to be an English one. Go on, off you go. Maybe it's English because it takes long. This should be the Amtrak execution. Oh, it's English because you don't really see it afterwards. It doesn't linger. The only steam motorcycle in the world. Terrifying. And then right next to her is this. Disappointing. There's things in here I'd like to get hold of, but it's a vending machine that only takes $5 bills and I haven't got that. Anyway, that was it. There's loads more than that, but that's the things I thought of filming. Great. This lady gave me 2 cents, but I insisted on giving her 50 cents for them. I needed to get one of these before I go back. They're now non-existent, so this is quite a rarity in its own way. So, funny enough, they've already got one for the London Dungeon, but let's do this. Oh, I feel it going through now. It's being milled. It's being milled. It's going to come out there in a minute. There it is. Now, what's on my one? What does it say here? It's a judge. It's a judge one, but it's got San Francisco Dungeon on it. I wanted the logo one though. Right, let's do the last one. I'll be on my way then. So insert penny. There we are. That's a US cent. It's not going to look like it for much longer. When was that minted? 2017. Right, that's going in there. In it goes. And a couple of quarters here. One there. One there.
A lot of people there.
Right, push me in. Oh, and this time it's doing it by itself. Don't know where my coin's gone, it's in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. Here's gonna give it back. Yay! 2017 coin is now that. This. Focus. Focus. That anyway, that. Who's gonna eat there? What a lovely day it is. There's my hotel over there, so time to pick up my bag and leave. Meh. I'm at San Francisco International Airport now. Just checked my bag in. Met a father and son from Houston who are really nice people, and they're going to come to London in June, so I might do them a ripper tour. I'm just sitting here for a little while, finishing off my my root beer before I go through security, because obviously I can't take liquids through there, and I don't want to throw it away because it's expensive. So I'm at the departure gate. This is the most expensive bag of crisps I've ever bought in my life, and it was half empty. Have a guess. $10.28. That's about £9. I'm not even that special. So, Mr. Heffalump, we're on the plane going back to England now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we going on holiday soon? Yeah, we're going on holiday soon. Is that where we're going now? Yeah, that's where we're going now. Can I have a bun, please? You can have a bun anytime you want, Mr. Heffalump. What's that there? That's San Francisco out there. Or some miles from it anyway. And that's the last view we're going to get of America for a while. Hooray! You'll notice the sun is rising. What is it, Heffy? Hello. What's happening? We're going on holiday. Where to? We're going to America. Heffy. What?